guys, welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we are going to be creating this simple nude look using almost an entire face of W7 products. I have spoken about W7 on my channel before. I had, up until now, only tried their eyeshadow palettes, and I've worked with them before. They've sent me some of their palettes in PR, but they actually reached out to me last week to organise a giveaway over on my Instagram to give 2 people the chance to win a £50 voucher to spend on their website. I will of course have the giveaway post linked down below. All the rules can be found on the post, and it is running for 24 hours. And in exchange for running this giveaway, W7 very kindly sent me my own £50 voucher to spend on their website to see what I could get for £50 basically. Now, quick disclaimer, even though the voucher is essentially my payment for running the giveaway, they are not sponsoring today's video. They don't even know I'm making it. I figured it would be a lot more fun to do it as a video and see my first impressions on these. For £50 I managed to pick up 9 items. I did go over a tiny bit. I had to spend 10p of my own money. That hardly felt like a massive sacrifice. I tried to go for a few different things. So we've got some face products, we do have some extra eye products, of course some lip stuff. We have some good, we have some not so good. We have one product that I have no idea what even happened. Yeah. So yeah, we're gonna try all of these products together now. So if you would like to see how I got this look, then just keep watching. Alright guys, I've just gone ahead and primed my eyes off camera because I didn't pick up a primer from W7. I've just used my P. Louise base. So for anything where I don't have an item from W7, I will just kind of skip over it, do it off camera, because the focus is going to be using the W7 products today. I didn't go for a new eyeshadow palette. There wasn't one at the time that I was placing my order. So I think today I'm going to go with the Soft Hues palette in Rose Quartz. I do have a full review of all 3 of the palettes from the collection. If you would like to see it, it will be linked up in the cards. This one was my favourite of the 3, and my friend Amy Ray Makeup over on Instagram did a really cute matte pink look the other day. I'm not quite going to recreate it, but it did inspire me to do something similar, so that's what we're going to go for. I'm going to start off with my Morphe M456, and I'm going to go into this shade down here, and I'm going to pop that into my crease. And as always, going slightly above my crease because I will be doing a cut crease today. I'm just going to quickly come underneath as well, just to create my shape, and then I'm going to pop it on the outer corner as well. And then I'm going to take my Morphe M433, so the same brush but just a bit bigger, and I'm going to go into the paler pink to blend out. This is really just going to be a really simple eye look. I don't want to spend too long on it because you guys have already seen the palettes. And then the nice thing is with this as well, because these are shades that are quite close to my skin tone, I don't have to worry about being too precise. Just going back in with a little bit more of the slightly darker pink. Going to deepen it up. Take it a bit higher, make sure it's visible when I cut my crease. And then I'm taking some more of the lighter pink, and I'm just going over and blending again. I'm just going to quickly go and do a cut crease off camera, and then I'll be right back. Alright, so I have just cut my crease and also just primed my lower lash line as well, just so that it is ready to go. And then I did just pat a little bit of the darker pink into the cut crease just to blend them in together. I'm just going to take a Morphe M166, and I'm going to go into the pale pink again, and I'm now just going to pack it on the cut crease. Got a decent amount of contrast with the crease itself. I thought they basically looked like the same colour, but you can still see the defined cut crease, which is what I wanted. I'm just going to take my Morphe M456 again. I haven't added any extra product. I'm just going to try blending the 2 in together. And then I'm going to take a tiny bit more, drag it in a bit further. Just want a nice smooth blend between the 2. Just going to take the M433 as well, just blend back the other way. And then I'm just going to keep the lower lash line really simple. I'm going to go back into the darker pink first. Just pack it on in the lash line. And then I'm just taking a Zoeva 231, and that's the lighter pink, just blending it all out. Just going to take my M433 again, just to finish everything off. And then let's highlight as well while we're at it. I'm going to go into the lighter shimmery shade up here on a clean Zoeva 231. I'm going to pop that on the inner corner. That is actually really, really popping. It's not on camera because everything just blends into my skin right now, but it does have a really nice amount of shimmer, so I hope it does come across in the photos. And then we'll just do the brow bone as well. Okay, so now that that's done, we're going to move on to our first item, and I had to get the Metal Flash Trio Galaxy Glam. I don't know what the title is of this, but these are 3 glitter eyeliners, and they came out a few weeks after the Soft Hues palettes, and I really wish they'd come out at the same time because they matched them so well. I'm going to go for the pink one. It's called Cosmic. The tip looks nice and thin, and I would like to line the cut crease with it. Okay, so you can see it. I don't think you can on camera, but I can in real life. It's not just pink. It has like a pink base to it, but then it has like some orange glitter, some green glitter. I think it will take a couple of layers. I am going to have to layer it up. I think I'm just going to go and do that off camera, and I'm going to use one of my Pro Arte Master Stroke brushes. Yeah, one of these, and I'm going to see what it looks like after like a couple of coats. Okay, there we go. So I hope you can see it on camera now. I don't think you can from looking at the monitor, but I hope you can. So I have layered on quite a bit of the glitter. I think I did at least like 3 coats, and I can see it. I can see a pink base to it now. The suggestion that I have had with these is rather than using them as a liner to like put them on the back of your hand and then use like a blending brush and pat it on, I feel like that would be super pretty. So that is something that I'll be trying, but as a liner, just a little bit of work, but I feel like it always takes me ages to get this sort of effect anyway. I do think it's pretty, I just don't think you can see it on camera, which is a bit of a shame. Alright, so I've just gone ahead and done my mascara and popped on some eyeliner. I didn't pick up either of those from W7, so they will be listed down below if you guys are interested. We are now going to move on to complexion. So when it comes to complexion products, W7 do actually offer a lot of different types of products, and I actually had a hard time choosing what I wanted to go with, but we do need to talk about their shade ranges because there's definitely some improvements to be made there. I would say one of W7's most popular foundations, or at least the one that you hear about the most, is their dupe for the Estee Lauder Double Wear, but I think it has 4 shades. That's not great. They do have one foundation that has a really big shade range. It's the HD foundation. That one does seem to cover quite a few different things, but other than that, it is quite poor. So I went with the It's Glow Time foundation, which is their most recent one, and this one does only come in 6 shades. It's not great. I went with the shade Porcelain Glow. This is the lightest one. This is actually a really good match. I did also pick up a concealer, and again, it's kind of the same thing. A lot of the concealers seem to come in lighter shades and not darker ones. The one that caught my attention, I don't know why, I was just like, oh, this one sounds nice. It's called the Skin Fresh Concealer, and I think this one only came in 2 shades, and that really should have rung some alarm bells because I went for the shade Fair, and I'm going to show you guys what that looks like. I mean, this is really orange on me. When I started wearing makeup somewhere between 10 and 15 years ago, this would have been the lightest shade of foundation every time. So I was literally going around being orange. I obviously can't do any sort of spot concealing over the foundation. I can't do any highlighting because these aren't even close, and I think this one is getting darker. So yeah, again, in terms of the amount of different types of products that they had to choose from, it was really, really great, but in terms of the shade ranges, there is definitely some work to be done by W7. That was really, really disappointing. So because the concealer is so dark, what I am actually going to do today, I'm going to conceal under the foundation, which I don't normally do it. I do it over, but there's no right or wrong answer. You could do either one. But before we do that, I do have a primer, and I went with the Miracle Matte Elixir. Because I do have oily skin, when I wear a more glowy foundation, I prefer to have a matte base underneath. And this sounds like it is a dupe for the Farsali matte primer. I don't actually know what it's called. It smells quite sweet, but it doesn't have like a distinctive smell. So it actually contains witch hazel, vanilla plant extract. Oh, right, yeah, it smells of vanilla. That makes sense. Peppermint oil and pink kaolin. Is it kaolin? I don't know how you say it. So I'm just gonna drop a couple of drops on my fingers, and that is quite thick, but it seems to spread around fairly well. So I'm not using it everywhere, I'm just using it on the areas where I'm gonna need mattifying. Ooh, that is really mattifying, really blurring as well. Okay, I'm interested. That could be good. Yeah, super blurring. So as I said, I'm going to start with the concealing. So this is the Skin Fresh concealer, and this is the shade Fair. I mean, I would not consider this to be a fair shade. It's quite a thick concealer. I'm taking it on a Morphe M224, and we are going to spot conceal. And as you can see, my skin has not quite reconciled with me, so we do need the coverage. Okay, right, it definitely darkens. I can see it. It goes really orange. I was going to let it sit for a while, but I think it does dry down, so I'm going to go in with my blending sponge. So it does say that this one is for blemishes, imperfections and dark circles. I just feel like the redness just becomes visible again. Do you guys see that? Like, I feel like when you put it down, it looks like it's really full coverage, and then I can just see everything through it again. And then I am also going to do some color correcting with it on the under eyes. I'm just going to take it where I am darkest. The only thing with that is that I feel like I'm more purple in my under eye area. So I wouldn't normally go for a peach. I'd normally go for a yellow. Yeah, I just feel like it kind of took a couple of layers. I mean, I do have some very persistent spots at the moment anyway, but that wasn't great. We'll see once I've got the foundation on. So it doesn't say anything about coverage on the bottle, but it just says that it's a radiant foundation, and I thought it sounded like it was going to be quite similar to like the Anastasia foundation, that sort of thing. I think I'll go with a sponge for it. Feels like that's going on pretty nicely. I'm trying to gauge if you can see the orange underneath or not, I can't tell. Gonna take another pump of the foundation. Let's bring it around a bit more. I think this is probably quite nice actually. It's not looking super radiant. I do feel super blurred out here. If I didn't have like a couple of spots here, it could be really nice. I've just taken another small pump. Okay, I feel like I look a lot better than I did a minute ago when I had all the concealer. The colour doesn't seem to be showing through from that. Okay, you know what? I can see a glow. I hope you can see it on camera actually. I feel like it's kind of coming through now. I'm just going to take a little bit more of the concealer just on the angled edge of the sponge. I'm going to bring that into the under eye. Let me take my PC18. I don't feel like my under eyes are massively covered up. I think the concealer is a no from me. Don't feel like it did that much. I'm just using whatever I've got left over, and I'm going over those areas that do just need a bit more product. I feel like I'd quite like the foundation because it does have a glow, but it's nothing too crazy, and because I am someone with oily skin, I feel like I don't want something that's going to look too oily too quickly. But this seems to be a nice amount, so I'm glad I've picked up the foundation. And if you guys want a full wear test of the foundation at some point, definitely let me know because I'd be happy to review it. I'm just taking my M433 just to blur the eyeshadow back out into the, I was going to say concealer, but in this case foundation. And then I have another product to try, which I'm quite excited about because I've wanted to try it for a while. It hasn't been out for that long, I don't think, but since it's come out, this is the Bronze Chic Bronzing Balm. This does only come in one shade, which might not be great, but we'll see. Can we please have bronzers in multiple shades? It's just really not that hard, guys, at this point. We can't do one shade of bronzer for everyone. It doesn't work. It's a lie. I'm gonna take this flat top brush by Iconic London because that's what I used to use for my cream contour. I'm gonna go really slowly, I think. I'm just kind of tapping in. I thought it was going to be really orange, but actually that's working. Okay, I can work with this. The key for me is just to take it slow, but it's not a particularly strong product. So I think you'd be okay even if you are paler than me. Let's come underneath as well. I can't pinpoint the smell. It might be watermelon. It's very like a sweet, it's nice. And this would be a really nice product in summer, actually. Like, this is the kind of thing that I could take on holiday with me. I can layer this on quite well. I mean, in fact, I do kind of need to layer it on because the colour isn't that strong. You know, I don't want it to be that strong. I don't want to end up putting on too much product in one go. So for someone like me who's quite pale, this is actually really nice. I really thought this was going to be orange. I really, really like the colour. I'm really, really shocked. I'm just going to take my E62. Oh, we'll do the lips and the nose now. I was really, really worried this was going to be way too dark for me because normally when a bronzer only comes in one shade, that's normally the case. Again, still going to say it, a bronzer should not come in only one shade. If I can wear a product without looking orange, then it's definitely not going to suit that many people. But if you are as pale as me, this is quite nice. I do like this. Just gonna go back over with my sponge. I really like that. It's really subtle on me. It's not over the top. It's not orange. I'm really, really pleased with that one, actually. That is really nice. Right, so I've just quickly powdered and then deepened my contour because unfortunately there was no powder or contour that I wanted. They also didn't have a highlighter that I wanted. They had a few highlighters, but the ones that I thought would suit me, that I thought would be the right shade, out of stock. What if we try this shade? I don't think this is gonna work. We're gonna try it. I'm gonna try this brush rather than my peaches and cream one. Let me see. It's not doing anything. I'm just gonna use some setting spray. Okay, it's getting there. It's just a very subtle highlighter, which goes with today's look anyway, so I'm quite happy. Literally just highlighting in all the usual places. That was a really bad idea because I've just highlighted the giant spots that I have on my chin. So next up I do have a blush to try out, and this is one of the Candy blushes, and the shade is Angel Dust. Now it took me ages to choose which shade of blush I wanted, and I thought the website was a bit confusing. Well, the packaging basically is a bit confusing. I will put it up on screen, but when you look at the list of all of the blushes, it looks like a cool pink. I mean, if you look at this packaging, this looks like it would be a cool toned pink. You open this up, that's really coral. So yeah, that wasn't quite what I wanted, but we're just gonna go with it. And it feels really creamy. Like, it almost feels like a cream to powder. Very, very pigmented. We're gonna try it, and I actually also have a brand new brush that I'm really excited to try. This is a Morphe and Jaclyn Hill JH06. Oh, that picks up a lot of product. This isn't gonna be my favorite blush, but it's also not the worst blush I've ever tried. It's never easy to test a blush when my skin really isn't smooth, but it seems to be blending in all right, actually. It's not like caught on to anything. I don't feel like it's patchy. Yeah, I just wish it was more cool toned, but in terms of the formula, it doesn't seem too bad. I'm gonna take some up here. Okay, so next up we have a brow product. I picked up a brow pomade. I'm gonna take my Morphe M518. Looks like a pretty good texture. Let's see. Okay, I like the way this is laying down. I feel like it's coating the brow hairs really well. Look at the definition between this side and this side, just in the brow hairs. I'm using so little product, by the way. I'm just using it from the lid. I did, of course, freshly waxed my brows this morning. Fresh brows always help if you're going to be reviewing a brow product. I really like the way this is laying down. And the colour's nice as well. It's not too dark. It's not too warm either. I'm speechless, okay? I didn't know what to expect from this. Okay, yeah, really, really happy with that, I think. I really like the colour. It's nothing too intense. It's nothing too aggressive. Like the texture. Really, really pleasantly surprised with that. Next up, we're gonna do lashes, and the reason that I didn't go for a mascara is because W7 do sell lashes. They do quite a few different ones, but a lot of the ones that I wanted were sold out, which was a shame, but with the way things have gone this year, I don't think we can be too harsh on businesses that do have things sold out. So they have a collaboration with a young influencer called Ruben de Made. This is the Style Hollywood. This was what I thought was most resemblant to what I normally use, but they are absolutely huge. So I don't know if they'll work with today's look. They do come with a little lash glue. I'm gonna save that because it's always quite handy, like traveling, that kind of thing, even though we're not going anywhere. I was worried on the website about the quality. I thought they would look really cheap, but I think they look okay. They feel really soft. They don't feel plasticky. They did have some styles that looked like they were gonna be quite plasticky, although it wasn't in this collaboration. Could I do with cutting these down? I think I am just gonna cut off like the really end one. So I'm gonna use my own lash glue. I just use the Duo Quick Dry. These have had a second to dry, so let's try putting them on. I feel like it looks alright in the monitor. They're just way too long. If I'd realised quite how long they would be, I would have picked something else. But again, they just had so many styles that were out of stock. I like the wispiness, but they just don't really suit this look. Alright, so that just leaves us with the final step, which is the lips. And W7 had these really, really cute lip kits, which I think have just come out as part of their Christmas collection. The ones from last year from W7 seem to come with a lip liner, a bullet lipstick, and a gloss. And this year we have, again, a lip liner, and then we actually have 2 lipsticks. We have a liquid matte and a semi-matte. I assume the idea behind it is to go for more of an ombre lip, because you are getting 2 slightly different shades. I think it's quite cute. I'm gonna swatch them for you. So this is the liquid matte lipstick. Just feels like it's gonna be a bit much. And then the other one is the semi-matte. I think I'm only gonna use the semi-matte because it's still fairly dark, but it just has a bit less intensity. And then the lip liner. Okay, I think the lip liner is a twist up. If it is a twist up, it twists up very slowly. No, what is it? I'm so confused. No, I think you do sharpen it. It does twist, but I think you do actually sharpen it. It's a bit confusing. And that looks like it could match either one. So let's start off with the lip liner. It's not the creamiest. Let me zoom you guys in. Can you see? This comes off, but it doesn't have a sharpener. This looks like it would twist, but it doesn't. So it's a very weird pencil. So I'm gonna try giving it a sharpen. Okay, it does sharpen. It's definitely one that you sharpen. So that clarifies. It's broken off. It's not great to start us off with. What the hell is going on? I can't get it to sharpen, guys. It just keeps breaking off. Look at how much I have already sharpened that by in the packaging, and I can't get it to work. I'm really annoyed by this. It is literally disintegrating. It is falling out in pieces. This is awful. Guys, I've sharpened half of it. I've literally sharpened half of it and I can't get anything out. I'm annoyed. That's awful. It's almost like it's dried up inside. I'm really annoyed at that. You know when you are relieved that you got something without actually paying for it because it's so bad? That is how I feel about it right now. I'm just gonna move on into the semi-matte lipstick because I'm really annoyed. Oh, okay. That's a nice texture. Again, a little bit darker than what I wanted for this look, but it's pretty. That definitely redeems the lip kit for me. I wish I had tried the liquid matte as well, but I just think it would be a bit too much with this look. But this is a really nice color. It feels like a nice texture. The thing is with a semi-matte is it's not gonna completely dry down, so it's not gonna be like on your lips for as long as a fully liquid lipstick would be, but it also feels comfortable. It's not sticky in any way. I think I'm gonna quite like this. I don't know if they sell them by themselves. Let me check. Okay, they have a few different formulas on the website. I can't see a semi-matte specifically. I do really like the color. I think that's quite nice. What the hell happened with the pencil? I'm really annoyed at that, guys. I'm literally taken off half of it and what is in there is unusable. So I don't know if that was a dud, I don't know if I had one that was dried out, what the situation is. I'm genuinely quite annoyed about that. Yeah. So there we go, guys. Here is the finished look. I would love to hear what you think about it in the comments. It's very, very, very light for me, but I think it's cute. Sometimes, you know, you do want to go for something, you know, really nude and really cute, basically. So let me give you my final thoughts on these products. What I should have done before saying anything was actually put all the products together in front of me so I could see what I was doing. So, do we go in any particular order? Right, I'm gonna start with what I didn't like so much. I think it's pretty obvious. We won't even talk about the lip pencil because we just did. That was a complete fail. But I think one of the bigger fails for me is gonna be this concealer. I would absolutely not call this shade fair because on me it was orange. It darkened as I put it on and then it seemed to have less coverage, so I feel like I probably could have almost gone without it. I'll have to find a way to use it up because I wasn't super impressed with this. The lashes are also kind of in the middle for me. I don't think they suit this look. Would I wear them with a more dramatic look? Yeah, possibly. I feel like they look all right in the monitor, but for the price I don't think they look bad. You know, they don't look super cheap. They don't feel cheap. I mean, they don't feel like super expensive ones, but I've seen ones that feel so much more plasticky and so much worse. So I think it would definitely be worth checking out some lashes by W7 if you want some really cheap ones. It's just a shame that so many of them were sold out because this wouldn't really have been the style that I would have gone for. The blush wasn't bad in the end. I was worried it was going to be too over the top, that it was going to go patchy because it was such a bright colour, and it's quite nice actually. It's not bad. Definitely not my type of colour, and you can tell that it is pigmented, that it is powdery. I would go in with a light hand, but not bad. It's just not going to be one of my favourite blushes basically, but it was okay. Definitely need to have more of a play with the liners. I do like the way that it looks. Again, I have no idea if you guys can see it on camera or not, but I think in real life it is really cute, and I do want to try using them almost more as toppers than as liners. Can you ever really go wrong with a glitter liner? I really don't think you can. Nothing bad to say about them. Okay, let's talk about the lip kit because this one was really hit and miss. I do like the colour on the lips. It really suits me actually, I have to say. It's a really nice colour for my complexion, so I will give it that. I can feel this on the lips, but it's one that's not going to dry down, so I'm okay with that. I do need to try the liquid matte at some point, but the pencil was such a huge fail. I really hope that is just me having a dud, because imagine buying this as a gift for someone for Christmas and then that pencil is all dried out and crumbly inside and you can't use it. It would almost make me not recommend getting these sets because I'd be worried that that would be the case with all of the pencils. And then in terms of the products that definitely stood out a lot more for me, there was some successes here. The bronze chic was such a big surprise because I really did expect it to be really orange on me, and it's a really nice colour. It's really subtle and I was really happy with it. Again, it comes down to that shade range, and if a bronzer suits me, it's not going to suit that many other people. So I really hope that they create more shades of this because there's no such thing as a universal bronzer. There just isn't. Really excited about the Miracle Matte Elixir as well. It felt really blurring. It felt really mattifying. I feel like it's probably done a lot for me under the foundation, and I literally used 2 drops as well, so this could be one that kind of lasts me as well, so definitely excited to play with this one some more. I did really enjoy the foundation as well. I felt like the coverage was probably fairly decent, but it was hard to tell because I had the concealer underneath. Again, if you guys want a wear test, let me know because I really want to do one. I want to see how this lasts on oily skin, but I like the finish because it's not too glowy. I don't look oily right now. Some foundations, you know, by the time I finish filming and I'm taking photos, I already look really oily. It's quite a nice finish. I'm quite excited about it. Pitiful shade range. Pitiful shade range. This really is a recurring theme. I really hope that W7 do better in the future. And I'm really surprised at how much I enjoyed this brow pomade. I don't know why. I feel like I have really low expectations for drugstore eyebrow pomades. I don't know if it's just because I've used the Anastasia Beverly Hills one for so long and I'm like being a bit of a snob about it, like, oh, drugstore ones can't be as good. I don't know, but I liked it. I need to see it in photos because some eyebrow products, I look at them, I think they look brilliant, and then I see the final photos and I'm like, oh god, no. But I just liked the way that it coated the hair. I liked the way that it made them look more defined. Really impressed. Didn't expect that. So the brow pomade definitely gets a thumbs up from me. So that is it for today's video, guys. If you enjoyed it, as always, do make sure you give it a big thumbs up. Leave me a comment letting me know what you thought of it. Don't forget to enter the giveaway by clicking the link to my Instagram post down below. And if you haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell so you don't miss out on my next video. And I'll see you all in the next one. Bye, guys.